So yeah, here's the game, the result. So we have one build, we play it together, A and B, and there is a requirement here from the test, like area have to reach the flag to win, game has a time constraint, has an infinite level, do not use a split screen, player look at mouse, remaining time current UI is visible in current UI, arrow indicator to flag position, and finish game. After finish game, there is a button to next game and leave. And this is additional for me, which is to retry. So yeah, let's start. One of the client have to start as a host, and another have to start as a client. Yep, yep. So in both client, actually, the flag is allocated in the same position. Yeah, that's the requirement. As you can see here, the arrow is actually look at the mouse position, and if we reach the flag, it's trigger as a win, and it's trigger lose for another client. And yeah, for go to the next level, we have to get the approval of the bot player. So this is next level. Next, yeah, player one choose the next level, and it's turned out to be green, and the second player. Yep. Now it's on the second level. We get a new time, and yeah, the flag is randomized, position is randomized. So now it's in the bottom, professor is on the top. Next. Yep. Now let's start to wait until the time is up, and the um, the game will be draw because of yeah, the requirement. If no one has reached the time until the time is up, then the game will be draw. While waiting, I want to mention about what makes my code maybe different from the others is in the part of input here. So most of the game using, like, well, not most of, it's depend on the architecture that they're building actually, but some of it using like network transform. So they kind of synchronizing the network transform and interpolating um, in the networks, and yeah, like interpolating. The the client's like downloading the current position from the server, and then next position, then another next position. So the game object is being moved by the network transforms. But in my case, I'm not using network transform to move the objects, um, nor anything. It's just input. So everything is deterministic in my code. So the player have uh, on yeah, the player only sends the input to the server, and the server is actually how to say, simulate simulate the uh, simulate the movement depend on the input that the player give, and it will give the exact same uh, result because they are um, moving in the same loop. Like I'm using network update. Yep. So this is a synchronized loop between client and server, and the benefit of it is instead of sending uh, factor 2, like if we are using transform, you have to send maybe because this is 2D games, but for more advanced cases maybe you will need like vector 3 or the rotation full, so it's like 6 float for example. So one float is actually 32 byte, no, 32 bit, which is 4 byte. If you multiply it by 4, then it will be 16 byte, right? If I'm not mistaken. But in my case, because we only send the movement and the rotation, even movement can be uh, shortened again using like byte, because in in a in a PC, you move using uh, WASD, like the movement is very limited, like you can only go forward, go right, go left, go to the bottom and the middle of it, right? So it's kind of I directional movement, and this eight directional movement is already really sufficient for a byte. Like byte has a capability of 256, but this only 8, so it's really fit using byte. But I'm keeping using sort. So I am using sort is instead of decrypting the direction, I decrypting the angle. So 0 means 0 angle, uh, 1 win 1 means 1 angle, and then I reconvert it to vector. Yep, I convert it to vector. Yeah, this is the part where I encode and decode the vector to short, and from short to vector. Um, so yeah, let's go back to the demo. So yeah, after the time is up, the game will stop, and we cannot move the character again. We can still rotate it just for visual purposes. I didn't disable it, but the player cannot move anymore. And yeah, as you can see here, it's not next level, but it's retry. So let's retry. Yep, I think previously we are in the level 3, so we retry in the same level, level 3. But let's make sure and um, do it again. Level 3, just remember we are in level 3. Oh yeah, another thing is I'm using shader in the background. So instead of creating like um, sprite and then instantiating in the right and then re-instantiating in the right while we are moving toward the directions, I just simply using my custom shader. So I write shader. Where is my script? um, this one. It's really some simple script. All I need to do is changing the UV according to how to say world position. So this is Unity object world is matrix to convert vertex to world positions, and then I multiply it by yeah, by something value, just a float value to, because it's being stretched, so I need to adjust the stretch using this float. And yeah, the UV is updated. And if you see here, even without we are uh, instantiating when this spread is moved, can you see the texture? The texture is stays in place. Yep. So how it works is actually I just put it in the camera and put some script to scale the sprite uh, so it match with the size of the camera. So for example, I change it to full HD. As you can see here, the sprite is not full screen. The size is not full screen, and if we play, and before we start, let's just try the retry. We are on the level 3, obviously. Yeah, we are still in level 3. So yeah, that's it. And yeah, for this demo in Unity, I will play in just one player games. It's the same as two player games. Yep. So yeah, as you can see here, the sprite is actually um, just one. I not reinstantiating the sprite. It's just using shader to kind of visualize the what is it name, the texture background. As you can see, there is a little bit snap in here. It's just because of the position is not matched. So if I move the position to 0, 0, 0, it will be matched. Yep, it's matched. And yep, the same. Yep. The difference is if we just let this time goes by, instead of draw, it will lose for single player mode. Um, Finish, retry, shader background, deterministic optimizations. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Just wait for 30 seconds for this to simulate how it will end in a single player mode. Shouldn't use network transform previously added in the uh, demo test. Sorry, just modified it previously. Yep, you lose. And if we click leave, it stop the play mode. Yep, that's pretty much it. Thank you.